And it's our job to find out all the time, what is the mission? And it's that mission that worship helps us to accomplish. That emerging mission that we've been talking about, free the mind, grow the soul, change the world. How does worship equip you to be more free, to grow, to change, and to be a part of change? The author Stephen Prothero, who spoke from this, well, actually, he was on the chancel a couple months ago. He's written 2 books at least, one of which is called Religious Literacy, What Every American Needs to Know and Doesn't. And then his newest book is called God is Not One, talking about the differences between religious traditions and the importance of learning those. He suggests that every religion answers 3 particular questions. One is, what is the problem? What is the problem in the world? The second is, what is the solution to that problem? And then the third, each religion offers techniques for how to address that problem. And fourth, exemplars, people whose lives have demonstrated us how that works. I would suggest to you that for us, for liberal religion, the problem is oppression. The problem is oppression of mind, of body, and of spirit. Anything that fragments us, that keeps us separated, that keeps some people down while other people are up, that is the problem liberal religion sees with the world, within us, between us, and among us. The solution then is liberation, freedom of thought, freedom of corporate and civic action, freedom of worship, freedom of the pulpit, separation between church and state, and here, freedom in this tradition, at this congregation, of individuals taking responsibility for their own growth, not expecting that the preacher is going to have all the answers. Each of us in the history of this church, as they say, working out our salvation in fear and trembling ourselves. Which then brings us to the techniques, and those techniques are the disciplines of liberal religion. Through worship, through study, through service and sacrifice, we are working to achieve liberation and to establish liberation in the world around us. And the exemplars? Well, in addition to the, 400 or 500 exemplars here in this room, we find our inspiration all around us everywhere. In the words of known and unknown prophets, in the daily lives of people who just live, in science and poetry. We bring those here together and consider. So, what if it is more about the future than now? What if it is not only about you, but about the world? I am not religious, says my neighbor. This from Sarah Moores Campbell. I am not religious, says my neighbor, as he hoes the rows between his beans and corn. Oh, yes, you are, I say to myself. To plant a seed is an act of faith. To collect compost is a response of gratitude to the Creator. To water and fertilize and mulch the ground is an expression of religious responsibility. To kneel down and pull weeds is a prayer. To harvest is to participate in the fullness and grace of the Spirit, and to protect and replenish creation is to love God. I am not religious, says my neighbor. Yes. Yes, you are, I say. Friends, whatever your practices, let us go forth considering the lilies, and how we will look each day with a heart open to worship. May it be so.